Everything you see, your home, your family, the very air you breathe, should have been turned to ash 42 years ago. On September 26, 1983, the story of humanity was scheduled to end. There was no grand speech, no superhero, no miracle. There was only a man in a dark room, a flickering computer screen, and a choice. This is the story of Stanislav Petrov, the man who saved the world by simply refusing to obey it. To understand the weight of Petrov's choice, you have to understand the world of 1983. Tension wasn't just high, it was breaking. Weeks earlier, the Soviets had shot down a Korean civilian airliner, killing 269 people. The Americans were furious. The Kremlin was paranoid. Both sides had their fingers hovering over the delete button of civilization. The policy was launch on warning. If the computers detected a strike, you didn't wait to see if it was real, you fired back. In this world, computers were God, and the computers were about to make a mistake. 12:14 a.m. Stanislav Petrov is the duty officer at the Serpukhov 15 bunker outside Moscow. Suddenly, the sirens scream, a siren so loud it shakes the floor. The screen turns red. The satellite system, OKO, reports a single Minuteman missile launched from the United States. Petrov stares. One missile? It makes no sense. You don't start a nuclear war with one missile. He stays calm. He calls it a glitch. Then the screen blinks again. Second launch. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Now the computer is screaming. 5 missiles, all heading for Moscow. Petrov has 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, if the missiles are real, his country, his people, will vanish. Protocol was clear. He must notify his superiors, and if he notifies them, they will launch 5,000 nukes in retaliation. Total nuclear annihilation. Petrov had 2 phones, one to the high command, one to the technicians. He looked at his men. They were terrified, waiting for his order. Petrov thought, if the Americans start a war, they start with hundreds of missiles, not 5. But what if he was wrong? What if, while he sat there thinking, his family was being vaporized in their beds? His heart was hammering against his ribs. He picked up the phone. He told the Soviet High Command, "It's a false alarm." He waited. Every second felt like an hour. He stared at the radar. 10 minutes passed. 11. 12. Nothing happened. There were no missiles. The perfect Soviet satellites had mistaken sunlight reflecting off the top of clouds for the exhaust of a rocket. Stanislav Petrov, a man the world didn't know existed, had just won the Third World War without firing a single shot. You would think he was treated as a hero. He wasn't. He was interrogated. He was reprimanded for not filling out his logbook correctly during the crisis. He was eventually forced into early retirement. He died in 2017 in a small, cramped apartment known only to his neighbors as a quiet widower. We spend our lives worrying about the system. But Petrov proved that the most important part of any system is the human in the middle of it. Today, you are alive because one man decided that his gut feeling was more important than his orders. The next time you think one person can't change the world, remember the man who saved it by doing nothing at all.